Hello, MAT students and counseling students. Welcome to 5400 and 5401. You found this video, so that means that you have started at the correct place, but that's where I'll go right now. So you have for pre-residency two courses that run simultaneously. One is the didactic course, which is 5400, 2 credit hours, and the other is 5401, which is the field course, and it is 1 credit hour. So we can see both of those here for our summer 5400, 5401. If you are a job embedded student, then you're not required to complete 5401. You will just complete 5400. These courses work simultaneously. As you're learning content, I'm wanting you to, once you enter the field, look for those things that are present. So let's go to the content for 5401 and let me explain to you how this works. So of course we've got the start here, and this is not your video. This video will be here and you'll be watching that. So I know it's kind of weird. This is just right now a placeholder. And these are your assignments. If you come over here, you've got this sub-module that lists the assignments. So all the assignments for 5400 are right here. There are also other places as well. You'll find them within the modules. You'll find them in the Dropbox. Some of the assignments are discussions. And you will find them also by looking at the course calendar. If you click on course schedule, anything that's coming up today, tomorrow, and the next 7 days will be there. You can click full schedule and see all the things that are due there. That's my big puzzle. Say, stop barking, Winnie. And so this is how it works. So you'll start here, and then each week you're going to have a module that you'll open up. And at the top of the module, it'll tell you what you're going to do for that week. So let's see if we can get that raised up. Okay, this is Module 1, and it's about the goals of classroom management. And I explain the purpose of the module and kind of give you an overview right here. What I write in purple is the overview. You'll be exploring these parts of the team environment rubric. Then I have these sub-modules, getting our head on straight and self-regulation. Self-regulation is the goal of any good classroom management plan. Your goal is for students to regulate their own behavior without your prompting or prodding. So we're learning about those two things. There's assignments related to them. The assignment links are here. You'll have a chapter to read, and then the directions say to view all of the videos within this module, and then to complete the assignment. Then you go to the next module, and there are your directions again, the videos that you need to watch. These links are links to articles that are important, or they might actually contain a video, excuse me, and then of course your assignment on self-regulation. So each of the modules are like that. There's one per week for 6 of the 7 weeks. The last week is a time when you're going to have a lot of things due. There's not actually a module associated with that. So you want to start with module 1. And then also, to kind of keep you on track, I have these other links at the bottom so that you can keep up with what's due with both this class and the other. So our first week is July the 8th through the 14th. And so you can click on due July 14th, and you can see that all the things that are due in this course are here, and it also mentions and reminds you to go and look at 5401. So one of the things that you might want to print off and keep available is up here in the section called Start Here. This is a spreadsheet, a table, which will keep you organized and thinking about what's due for 5400, what's due for 5401 for each of these due dates. So if I were you, I'd make myself a copy of this and put it where I can look at it frequently, because there are a lot of things due at sort of crazy times. In general, we try to stick with Sundays, but as we get into the field, if I were to put everything on Sunday, you wouldn't have a Sunday left. So I've made some things available assigned for you throughout the week. As you can see, these are just 1 or 2 days apart. None of the assignments are hard. Um, they're not even particularly time consuming. My goal is for you to make sure that you have time to view the videos. All the videos are short. They're 2 or 3 minutes in length in general, and they are often thought-provoking, and so I do want to make sure that you feel like you have time to watch those in their entirety. So we go back here to home, and let's take a look at 5401. 5401 is set up similarly. Click there, and we see by going to content that again we have a start here. And I've got a big long explanation and start here about what all you're going to be doing. There are some things that you need to do in the field which are sometimes graded, sometimes aren't, but I kind of check them off as you get them done. And again, we've got this list, like I showed you before, and these are all the things that are due from your field experience. You're going to be reflecting on your first day of school with students. You're reflecting on the classroom management of your placement, respect and rapport in your placement. You're going to make a point to get to know your students and write about that after you've created and given a survey. That's your only real project. And then, of course, you'll keep up with your attendance, and you'll have a mentor evaluation at the end. All those things do affect your grade. There are modules that explain to you what's due and when, just like before, July 14th, 31st, all the way to when you turn these things in. All of the forms that you need for this course. So we've got about the course. Here's some good information that explains all the things that you need to do in the field. And then if you click on this submodule, things to do in the field, you'll see that this is where you're going to find your mentor forms that you need to give your mentor. For example, they need to complete these things. It's all part of your checklist, which is right here, things to do in the field. Here are the forms that they need to do your evaluation. And here's forms for you that you need, which is basically your attendance log. Things to do in the field is a checklist, keeps you on track of all these things that you need to do. I realize that your D2L looks a little bit differently than mine, but you should be able to follow along. And we look here at the evaluation tab. We've got Dropbox. You can just always go to the Dropbox to put things straight into it. And not in 5401, but in 5400, there are 3 discussion boards. And the discussion boards, you need to make sure that you've done uh, the reading and that you've also viewed the videos before you start the discussion boards, because it will be obvious you don't know what you're talking about. These are all concepts that you've not had yet. I will say that some of the counseling students might have, but of course, my counseling students always do all their reading. They're phenomenal students, just like my MAT. So here we've got my discussion boards. You'll go to those. You're going to talk about flexible seating. This is where you can express your opinion on flexible seating. Personally, I like the idea of flexible seating. However, I would not advise that for a brand new teacher. I would work on establishing yourself with a reputation in the class, in the school first, so that students know coming in that this is, someone who's in charge of their own classroom. And even then, as an experienced teacher with a good reputation, I would make sure that I got to know my students before I started adding flexible seating. That's just my opinion. Um, Deficit thinking, asset thinking, this is a new concept for most of you, but one that you definitely need to be familiar with. And then, of course, importance of learning about the community of learners. So those are some great discussions that we'll be having online here in 5400. So that's all I've got. And I look forward to spending time with you online and look forward to spending time with you in person in the fall. You have a great day.